There are times when the sky seems to open its windows, revealing its most mysterious side. Floating structures, falling lights, and portals to other dimensions. These aren't just random lights or camera tricks. They might be signs of something far bigger, something that shouldn't be ignored any longer.
Oh my God, that was...
Let's watch before things get even weirder.
This video surfaced out of China. Looks like their city is floating in the clouds. We can't verify if the video is real or not, but we have seen things like this before.
After a heavy storm in China, residents looked up and saw something unbelievable. What looked like an entire city floating in the sky. Tall buildings, towers, and even outlines of rooftops appeared through the mist, almost like a reflection hanging in the clouds. People stood still, just staring at it, not knowing whether to be amazed or terrified. Scientists later called it a fata morgana, a rare type of mirage caused by layers of warm and cold air bending light. But even with that explanation, seeing it in real life must have felt unreal. The clip looks like a scene straight out of a fantasy movie, only this one actually happened. Sky Fortress Mirage. During a public event in China, people gathered to watch the opening of a skyscraper, but ended up witnessing something completely different. Above the clouds appeared a glowing shape, like a massive ancient gate floating in the sky. Phones immediately came out, and everyone started recording. Some thought it was part of the event, maybe a hologram, but organizers later said they had nothing to do with it. The strange formation stayed visible for a few minutes before fading away into the clouds. Experts say it could have been another rare mirage, but honestly, it looked way too perfect to be just a trick of light. Split sky phenomenon.
Viens pas me dire que c'est normal, cette séparation dans le ciel.
A woman was outside on a clear afternoon when she noticed something odd above her. The clouds looked like they had been perfectly divided into two parts, with a wide, clean path running through the middle. It wasn't moving like a normal cloud pattern, and the split stayed for several minutes. She filmed it, and the video quickly spread online with people calling it a sky highway. Some say it's caused by temperature differences in the air, while others think it could be some kind of atmospheric experiment. Whatever it was, it looked too precise to be random, like someone had just drawn a perfect line across the sky.
Là, il n'y a rien de normal. Le ciel coupé en deux comme ça, en trois.
Sky streaks. Passengers on a late-night flight looked out the window and noticed something wild, glowing streaks moving through the clouds below. They looked like streams of light falling in slow motion, almost as if something from space was entering the atmosphere. A few people filmed it, and the internet immediately started throwing theories around. Some said it was debris burning up, others thought it could be an energy phenomenon no one has ever seen before. Whatever it was, it didn't look random. The lights moved in an organized pattern, almost like they knew exactly where they were going. Fiery face in the clouds. In West Tennessee, a huge face formed inside the dark clouds. It wasn't just the shape that caught attention, but the glowing orange eyes shining through the storm like fire. The features were too detailed to ignore. Eyes, nose, even what looked like a mouth. Some thought it was just how the light hit the clouds, while others believed it was something supernatural. The eerie glow lasted only a few seconds before fading away, but everyone who saw it said it felt like something or someone was watching from above. Floating towers in China. In East China, people standing near a river suddenly noticed what looked like tall buildings floating in the sky. The shapes were clear enough to make out windows and rooftops, almost like a city made of shadows. Everyone pulled out their phones, trying to understand what they were seeing. Scientists later explained it was likely a mirage, a reflection caused when light bends through layers of hot and cold air. Still, seeing an entire skyline hovering in the clouds would make anyone second-guess what's real and what isn't. The footage looks so perfect that it almost feels like nature showing off its own version of a hologram. Castle in the clouds. A few people in India were walking near a roadside when they spotted something strange, a glowing shape in the clouds that looked just like a castle. It had towers and walls outlined by bright sunlight, giving it a golden look against the sky. Some thought it was a reflection of a nearby building, but there wasn't anything tall enough around. Others called it a sky mirage, a rare effect that makes distant images appear high above the ground. Whatever it was, it looked too detailed to be random. For a few minutes, the glowing castle hovered quietly and then just melted back into the clouds. Fusion lights in Turkey. In Turkey, a man was relaxing outside one night when he noticed two glowing orbs in the sky, one red and one blue. They drifted closer and closer, and before anyone could guess what they were, the two lights merged into one bright purple sphere. It glowed intensely for a few seconds before darting away into the distance. The video of the moment is stunning, with everyone online debating what it could be. A drone collision, an experiment, or something beyond explanation. Whatever it was, the fusion of those lights looked so unreal, like something out of a science fiction movie playing out in real life. Stadium sky reflection. A man was about to park near a stadium when something strange caught his attention, a glowing shape high in the sky. At first, he thought it might be sunlight reflecting off a plane, but it didn't move or fade. The shape stayed still, glowing softly above the clouds, forming what looked like buildings or a structure in midair. He started recording, realizing no light from the ground could possibly create that reflection. People nearby stopped to watch, trying to make sense of it. It might have been a natural mirage, but to those who saw it firsthand, it looked like a city floating above the stadium. California sky flash. Californians were left confused one evening when the sky started behaving strangely. Out of nowhere, the clouds began to flicker with sudden flashes, followed by a noticeable drop in temperature. Some described it as if the weather was changing all at once. Bright light, then cold wind, and a weird glow in the clouds. A few locals recorded the scene, showing the entire sky glowing in short bursts before calming down. Meteorologists said it could be a rare mix of storm activity and static buildup, but many online weren't convinced. It was just too sudden, like the sky itself was reacting to something unseen. Red rope in sky.
It's a UFO.
Just a few weeks ago in North America, a jogger recorded something really unusual. At first, it looked like a glowing red rope floating in the sky, but then it started changing shape, turning into what looked like a tentacle, and later forming a circle. People nearby mentioned hearing a faint humming sound that wasn't captured in the video. According to locals, some had been talking about strange lights a couple of days before this happened. The glowing rope didn't hold one shape for long, so no one could say what it actually was. Still, it's one of those sky moments that leaves you wondering what's really up there. Orange glow in fog. In Shanghai, a group of people were recording the thick fog covering the city when they noticed something strange glowing in the distance. The orange light slowly shaped into what looked like a long, massive craft hovering behind the haze. Its movement was slow and steady, almost like it was hiding behind the smog. Before more could be seen, the person recording said their phone began glitching, and the screen suddenly went black. Many people online said it was just a reflection from nearby lights, but the shape and timing made this one a bit too unusual to explain away easily. Descending orbs. Now, this next clip is seriously odd. Somewhere at night, a sky full of glowing dots was seen falling from above, thousands of them. They weren't moving like fireworks or flares. Instead, they were drifting down in a strange spiral pattern, glowing brighter than the stars. People nearby said it almost looked like the sky was raining lights. Some viewers online said it might have been drones doing a test show, but others pointed out that they were too high up and moving way too smoothly for that. The video doesn't say where or when this happened, which just makes it even harder to explain. Light streak. In Japan, one quiet evening turned strange when a bright streak of light suddenly tore across the sky. At first, everyone thought it was lightning, but then it changed direction. It curved down, almost like it was about to touch the ground. Before anyone could react, it shot back upward and vanished completely. The way it moved didn't match any meteor or aircraft. Some said it was a rare type of lightning called sprites, while others thought it looked more like a controlled craft. The clip went viral soon after, mostly because no one could really explain what they'd just seen that night. Sky Portal, Switzerland. In 2023, people in Switzerland caught sight of something that didn't look real at all. A bright blue swirl appeared high above, almost like the sky had cracked open. It flickered quietly, glowing in the dark as if something was about to come through. Locals filmed the moment in confusion, whispering to each other about what they were seeing. Some thought it might be a scientific test gone wrong, while others joked about a portal from another dimension. Within minutes, the glow faded away and the sky turned normal again. But that brief moment left everyone wondering what had just opened up above them. Ring of Light.
We are nuts.
In Vancouver, the sky lit up with a strange circular glow one night. At first, people thought it was smoke from fireworks, but then smaller lights appeared inside the ring and started spinning. For a few seconds, the whole thing rotated silently above the city, almost like it was moving with purpose. Then, just as suddenly, it faded. No sound, no trace, nothing. People online called it everything from drones to UFOs to a camera trick. But everyone agreed on one thing: that perfect glowing ring didn't look like anything the sky had ever shown before.
We are nuts.
Fire rainbow in Singapore.
Look at it. Oh my gosh, what is it? What is happening? It's a rainbow on top of a cloud.
In Singapore, people were caught off guard by a glowing rainbow-like shimmer covering the clouds one afternoon. The colors were so bright that it looked like the clouds themselves were on fire. The video, filmed by a local named Roberto Nunez, shows shades of orange, pink, and green spreading like paint across the sky. Experts call it a fire rainbow, a rare event that happens when sunlight passes through ice crystals high in the atmosphere. But even with that explanation, it doesn't make the sight any less mesmerizing.
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Moonlike object. So this strange clip was caught by a homeowner somewhere in the US. They had just heard a loud thunder, but instead of lightning, the camera caught something totally unexpected. A round moon-shaped object appeared from behind the clouds with a flashing light. But here's where it gets even weirder. A few glowing orbs seemed to move toward it, almost like they were being pulled in. Some said it looked like two crafts interacting in the sky, while others believed it was just an edited video. Whatever it was, the way those lights moved together definitely didn't seem like a regular weather phenomenon. Shifting lights.
What the
In Canada, a few fishermen had quite a night when they spotted something floating right above their boat. At first, it looked like a thin streak of light, glowing and flashing in random directions. But then it started changing, stretching, twisting, and even giving off little bursts of smoke, like the air around it was heating up. The strangest part came right before it disappeared, when it formed this glowing golden ring that spun in the air for a second before fading out completely. No one on the boat could figure out what they had just seen, but it definitely didn't feel like a normal night out on the water. Fast orbs in clouds. This one was filmed in Vancouver on July 10th, 2025, right after locals heard thunder but noticed there was no rain. Then out of nowhere, glowing orbs started darting across the sky, hiding behind the clouds and coming out again at unbelievable speed. They looked circular, but were moving too fast to be drones. One of them even stretched out mid-air, leaving behind a rainbow-like streak before shooting away. The person recording tried to follow the lights, but they disappeared just as quickly as they came. The footage looks real, and while it's clear where it happened, nobody's managed to say what those objects actually were. Glowing trails. One calm night by the coast of Turkey, people relaxing near the water suddenly noticed two bright lines cutting through the sky. One was pure white, and the other had a deep blue glow. They moved side by side in complete silence, stretching far across the horizon before slowly fading. Some locals thought it was a rocket launch far away, but others felt the movement was too smooth and steady for that. There wasn't any official announcement or report afterward, so people were left guessing. For those who saw it in person, the sight felt both beautiful and strangely unreal at the same time. Flickering portal. A mysterious clip from a security camera started circulating online, showing what looked like a light forming in the sky and slowly turning into a circular shape. It glowed for a few seconds, expanding slightly before fading away again. No sound, no sudden flash, just a quiet, eerie formation. Some said it was proof of secret government experiments, while others thought it might be an atmospheric glitch or a reflection. Whatever it was, that brief flicker gave off a feeling that something unusual had happened just above us, and we missed the reason why. Floating train mystery. People across different cities started noticing something strange in the sky. A train. Yup, a full-on train. Just gliding silently above the clouds like it was on invisible tracks. The clips quickly went viral, with some saying it's just a reflection or a trick of light, while others believe it's some kind of top-secret experiment. Whatever it is, the footage looks oddly realistic. The shape, the movement, everything matches a real high-speed train. It's the kind of sight that makes you stop and think twice before laughing it off, because honestly, it looks way too real to be just an illusion. Falling lights. This next one looks straight out of a science fiction movie. A bunch of glowing lights suddenly started falling from the night sky, leaving trails behind them like they were melting in midair. People nearby grabbed their phones, thinking maybe it was a meteor shower or something from space. But when footage surfaced online, some said it looked like a drone show that went completely wrong. Drones losing control and spiraling down, leaving everyone wondering what really happened up there. Whatever it was, it turned a calm evening sky into something no one could forget. Ocean portal.
Yo, son.
A few fishermen were out at sea when they saw something they couldn't explain. Far in the distance, a glowing circle appeared over the water, almost like a doorway of light opening in the middle of nowhere. And right near it was a strange, dark object just floating silently. They kept watching, thinking maybe it was a boat or reflection, but the glow never faded. It just stayed there until the recording ended.
Y'all see this right here on live.
Some people who saw the video think it might be a UFO passing through some kind of portal. Others believe it was just a camera glitch. Still, it's hard to unsee once you've seen it. Beach UFO.
Yeah, what the is that?
It was late at night, and a small group of people were wrapping up their time at the beach when something caught their eye. A bright, oval-shaped object hovering over the water. It didn't move like a plane or a drone. It just floated, with bright lights on, and then started spinning slowly. For a few seconds, it hovered there, and then, right after the clip ended, it dipped straight down into the ocean and vanished. Everyone stood there speechless, realizing they might have just filmed something out of this world. Whether it was a UFO or something else, that's one beach night they'll never forget.
Holy.
Pentagon UFO sighting. Lately, the skies have been full of surprises, and this one definitely tops the list. A new government office in the US has been tracking strange flying objects, and this particular footage shows something that left even the experts speechless. You can actually hear the people filming go, "Oh wow, what is that?"
That is interesting right there. Wow.
As two glowing shapes suddenly appear, move in sync, and then split apart mid-air. It's not fast like a jet, not slow like a drone, just strange. Some think it's experimental aircraft, while others are sure it's something we simply can't explain yet. Either way, it's one of those clips that make you question what's really up there. Fiery cloudburst. When a hurricane alert was issued in Florida, everyone was watching the skies closely, and that's when one resident spotted something unbelievable. Right above the thick storm clouds, a fiery light started glowing, twisting and sparking like it was alive. It wasn't lightning, and it didn't look like fire either, just a bright, burning sprout hovering in the clouds.
Oh my goodness.
The man started recording, saying he'd never seen anything like it in his life. Some viewers think it's a rare electrical phenomenon that happens during extreme weather, while others aren't so sure. Whatever it was, it made an already tense sky look otherworldly. Pink lightning over Japan. People in Tokyo were left stunned one night when flashes of pink light started bursting from behind the nearby mountains. At first, it looked like fireworks, but the glow was far too intense and way too consistent. The color of the lightning was unlike anything most people had seen before, lighting up the sky in shades of bright magenta. There were no signs of storms or power lines nearby, just pure glowing energy shooting into the air. The video quickly spread online, with theories ranging from natural plasma activity to something far more mysterious. Whatever the truth is, that pink lightning sure didn't look normal. Sky rift over Britain. In eastern Britain, people were stunned when the entire sky lit up in waves of blue and purple streaks. It wasn't lightning, and it didn't move like the northern lights. It looked more like a glowing rift running straight across the sky. Dozens of people came outside to record it, and the clips quickly spread online. Some said it might have been the aftermath of a high-altitude test flight, while others thought it looked like energy flowing through the clouds. The colors kept shifting and blending for several minutes before disappearing. Whatever it was, it turned an ordinary evening into something that felt straight out of science fiction. Colorful mountain clouds. A tourist visiting a small mountain town spotted something few people ever get to see. A massive, colorful cloud shining across the sky. The shades were vibrant pinks, blues, and golds, spreading across in soft waves. Locals barely paid attention, but the visitor stood there filming the entire thing, amazed by how unreal it looked. Later, people identified it as a polar stratospheric cloud, an extremely rare type that forms in freezing temperatures. Still, it looked so magical that most people online compared it to an oil painting in the sky. Sometimes nature really does create its own light show. Glowing orb. This unexplainable video was recorded on April 28, 2025, showing a bright, glowing orb hovering near a parked car. It stayed still for a few seconds, and before anyone could figure out what it was, it suddenly lifted up and vanished. People online had all sorts of theories. Some said it was an energy ball, others thought it was just a bug reflecting the light. But when you look closely, the orb doesn't behave like a reflection at all. It looks like it's glowing from within, with no clear location or explanation. This one still remains one of those random clips that just make you stop and think. Rainbow streak. Now this one's really something. A few friends were hanging out on a beach when they spotted a rainbow-colored streak flying across the sky. It wasn't a plane or a drone. It was moving way too smoothly for that. The colorful streak reflected perfectly on the water, making the whole thing look even more surreal. It flew toward a pier before fading out completely. No one knows what it was, but the way it lit up the sky for those few seconds made it one of the most visually stunning sky moments caught on camera. Blue flash over city. In New Jersey, the night sky suddenly lit up with bright blue flashes that left everyone confused. The light appeared right above the city center, and within seconds, smaller orbs started flickering around it. What's odd is that people nearby said their phones started freezing and losing signal the moment it happened. That's why the video was filmed from quite far away. The orbs hovered for a short while, pulsing in and out before they completely vanished. Some said it could have been electrical interference, but the way those lights moved together made the whole thing look more coordinated than random. Laser encounter. A leaked video from a mountain range shows something that's hard to wrap your head around. A bright white beam of light was seen cutting across the sky, not falling, just moving horizontally like it had direction. Moments later, several green beams appeared from the ground, shooting right toward it. Some say they were lasers, maybe part of a test or defense system, while others think the object wasn't from Earth at all. The lights seemed to lock onto it before the whole thing just vanished into the clouds. The clip ends right there, leaving everyone online trying to guess what really happened in that quiet mountain area. Hidden shape. Back in May 2025, a few friends in Sao Paulo noticed something odd while hanging out outdoors. A straight, thin line was cutting across the clouds, but it didn't look like anything left behind by an airplane. When they zoomed in, there was this solid, faint shape sitting right above the clouds, almost blending in but not completely.
Parece uma fenda. Não, é uma fenda.
It stayed still for several minutes and even seemed to cast a shadow. People online called it a cloud portal, while others said it looked like something was hiding inside the clouds. Whatever it was, it looked way too neat and still to just be part of the sky.
O sol tá se pondo ali, ó. E ali.
Perfect clouds. In early 2025, the people of Cafayate were treated to one of the strangest sky sights ever. Two perfect disc-shaped clouds suddenly appeared in a completely clear sky. They didn't float away or fade, they just stayed there like frozen saucers. Drivers even stopped their cars to film them. Weather experts later called them lenticular clouds, which are rare but natural. Still, a lot of locals weren't convinced. The shapes looked too identical, too symmetrical, almost like something was projecting them. Whether it was a strange weather pattern or something else entirely, the sight left the town buzzing for days. Orange glow.
This is not a rainbow, it's a light bow.
Tourists visiting Sedona last August thought they were watching the sunset until someone pointed out the actual sun was behind them. Hovering above the red peaks was a massive orange sphere glowing softly through the sky. It didn't move, flicker, or dim for nearly 10 minutes. A few people said it was just a reflection, but others felt it was too solid and perfectly round for that. Some even believed it was some kind of cloaked craft, hiding in plain sight by mimicking the sun's color. Whatever it was, that glowing sphere became one of the most talked about Sedona sightings of the year.
Absolutely beautiful. That is not the sunset.
Floating shadows. A group of fishermen, miles from shore, spotted something they couldn't explain. Above the quiet ocean, several dark clouds hung unusually low. But they weren't fluffy or soft-looking. They seemed solid, like floating ships made of mist. From underneath them, long, thin streaks reached down toward the water, as if something was connecting the two. For a while, the clouds stayed perfectly still, before fading away altogether. Scientists later said it might have been a Fata Morgana mirage, caused by light bending over the horizon. But those who were there still swear it looked like something far more mysterious, drifting right above them. Roadside glow. Somewhere along a quiet Alabama road, a home security camera picked up something unusual. Right near the edge of the street, a glowing light hovered in place. It wasn't a car, and there were no street lamps nearby. It just floated there, completely still. The family who owned the camera said it stayed like that for several minutes before fading out, almost as if it had never been there. People online debated whether it was a lens flare or something far stranger. But whatever it was, that short clip continues to confuse anyone who sees it. Neon sky. One night in New York City, the sky suddenly turned bright blue. Not like a flash, but glowing like daylight. People stopped in the streets, holding up their phones and talking over each other, trying to guess what was happening. For a few minutes, the whole skyline shimmered in that unreal light. Some thought it was a portal opening or a meteor passing through. Turns out, it was something closer to home. A transformer explosion in Queens that lit the sky like an electric storm. Even knowing the real reason, the sight was so wild that New Yorkers still remember it as the night the city's sky turned neon. After storm sky. Right after a line of tornadoes hit parts of the US, people stepped outside to find a sky that didn't even look real. Massive, bubble-like clouds stretched across the horizon, glowing faintly in orange and blue. For a moment, it looked like the start of something apocalyptic. But scientists later explained that these were mammatus clouds, rare and naturally formed after strong storms. Still, their strange shape made the scene feel unreal, like something you'd see in a movie. People filmed it in silence, just staring, unsure whether to be amazed or unsettled. Dancing shadows.
What's up with this wavy pattern?
A camper in the woods woke up early one morning and noticed something odd on the ground. Hundreds of tiny crescent shapes moving across the dirt. They weren't bugs or leaves, just soft little shadows shifting like waves. He recorded the scene, totally confused, asking online if anyone knew what it was. Some guessed it had to do with sunlight bending through the trees. Others said it looked like something magnetic. Whatever the reason, the sight was both peaceful and strange, like nature was quietly playing tricks with light.
It's funny that those waves are like in the shape of the sun.